Hey, so just gonna get right to the point of this. This is video three, I guess, of a series on mental health. And today I want to talk about something because I'm having a problem with it and managing it, and that is self-care. And self-care is a super huge, important part of mental health care because it helps like maintain. Um, And just as what you learn in the classroom is something that you continue outside of the classroom, what you learn in therapy is supposed to continue outside of therapy. And I have to admit, as a mental health care professional, I'm not very good at self-care. Some would say that I like compartmentalize or I stuff, whatever you want to call it, I do it. And it's kind of come to a point where it's like, just underneath the surface, and I can feel myself breaking a little bit, and it's over like not huge things, or it might seem minor, but they're big to me. And I've been home about a month, just over a month, like a day over a month, and the feeling of that I'm getting ready to go back, or like I'm just visiting the US has faded. And sorry, you hear a dog in the background. That's what that whine is. But now comes in like the sadness of it a little bit. And then this feeling of like, what is next? And also it's not running into people, but seeing people again that I used to hang out with, or like family or something like that, and trying to kind of rehash this last year that they haven't been a part of, on a consistent basis. And some conversations are really good, and I have some people in my life who truly understand like kind of what this is about. They might not have experience in it, but they understand the point and like how important it was, and like that it wasn't some minor little thing, but it was a big deal. And then there are some people who've never experienced it and just can't wrap their heads around it, and so they don't really know how to like, I don't know, interact with me or have conversations, and like, they refer to it as a trip. You take trips to Disneyland. I took a trip to Siem Reap. I took a trip to Thailand. Those were trips that I can tell you about what I did every day because, it was a trip. It was fun. Cambodia itself was not a trip. It was my life. I left everything I knew and quit a job and left a city that I loved and left friends and, picked my life up and put it somewhere else. And to refer to it as a trip to me, and I know like the people who say it like don't mean any harm, but like to me makes it sound like, Amos's little adventure. Like it's not important. And it was. And there are parts of Cambodia that I'll never be able to tell anybody about because they're just never going to get it. And that's okay, because there are parts that just need to stay with me. They don't need to be outside of my body. They don't need to be outside of my realm of understanding. They just need to stay with me. And there is something that like people want to know, but I don't want to tell. Like, I'm not going to tell these sad stories about girls that we had, because their stories aren't sad now. Like, their past is really sad and scary and awful, but what the life that they have now is not. And it's not going to be. Because they're going to go into doing these, like, big and wonderful things. I'm not here to deliver tragedy porn. I'm just not going to give it to you. And I think knowing that that's what some people want to hear, just like, it just makes me so just agitated, and like I just don't know, like I don't know how to interact with some people. And like even in interviews, like job interviews that I've had, like people want to know these like super tragic stories. And I'm like, I'm not giving it to you. Even like we're healthcare professionals. We should know that like this isn't stuff that we want to share. This is like, I want to tell you the good things that happen. Like, I want to tell you that there are girls that are going to go to university, and, you know, there's a girl that had like a very healthy baby and she's having a really great life. Like, that's the stuff that I want to tell. And, you know, I don't want to talk about all those details of their past life, because it's, to me, it's the past. And, you know, like, I still get a lot of the like, well, what are you going to do next? What are you doing now? And I'm like, I have very, very broad ideas of what I want to do next, and I'm excited about those things, and I know that they'll come in time. And it's just going to take some work and some more steps to get there. But trying to explain to people, some people, like, these very broad ideas, and like, they're going to be, well, how are you going to do that? No clue. I don't know yet. And I kind of am from a place where like people have plans. It's like, you do step A, you do step B, and I'm like, I do step C, then I might go back and do step A, and then I might jump to step J, and that's fine. Like, that's just how I live my life. And I've just noticed over the last few days that I just haven't taken care of myself and talked about that stuff out loud, or done something for me to help me take care of that and kind of regulate that energy in my body, so I'm not, you know, crying at night when I'm, you know, getting ready to go to bed, and I'm not like agitated during conversations or out with friends or out with family or whatever, like, you know, where I can just release that and I'm fine. And I should know better, because that's what I tell my clients to do all the time. And to practice that, and to make self-care a regular practice. And I need to get better at that. And, you know, self-care can look like a lot of different things. Like, you know, for me, self-care is exercise, is very regular exercise. And I haven't been able to do that lately just because of stuff that's going on. And I haven't really settled into a gym that I really like. And, or settled in with a trainer that I really like. And I haven't even settled on a home. Like, people keep saying welcome home, and I'm like, what does that mean? What does that even mean? And so, you know, I need to find something for me, because I might like go crazy. Things might get a lot worse if I don't try to regulate that. And I try to take time out for myself every day to do stuff that I really like to do, and help move these thoughts around and focus on them in a different way. So whatever that looks like for you, please make that a practice, so you're not getting in spots like this very often. And I will leave in the description box below, I'll leave a link to my blog where I'll talk more about some self-care tips, and the blog on advocacy and different types of therapies will be up today. And so will the self-care one. It will be up today or tomorrow morning. And so you can read through those and get caught up in these last couple videos and blogs. And then we'll be doing something else at the end of this week. And I'm going to talk about depression and anxiety and what the difference between those are, and how to help manage those symptoms with medication and without. So have a good day. See you next week, or see you later this week.